Good morning, Anne.
Good morning, James.
And good morning, everybody. As always, hopefully you are all having a wonderful Sunday or a wonderful week, whenever it is that you are listening. And once more, Anne.
Yes.
Sunday morning.
Once again.
Once again. Are you happy to begin?
I am, yes.
Fantastic. Where would you like to start this morning?
Well, it's coming up to bonfire night.
It is.
Again.
It is.
And I don't like bonfire night. I've never liked bonfire nights.
Right.
As an adult.
Okay.
I'm not saying I didn't as a child.
Okay.
But the fireworks when I was young are nothing like they are today.
No.
So it was, they used to have the fire rip wraps, I think they were called, and the boys used to throw them at you, and they used to chase you, these fireworks that chase you down the road.
Right, okay. What were they called? Rip
wraps or something
rip
like that.
wraps.
Something
Right, okay.
like that.
Like firecrackers.
Like firecrackers.
Right, okay.
And they'd throw them at you, and they'd chase you, and you didn't know which way direction you were
Okay,
going.
yeah. So no wonder you didn't like it.
No. And Bellevue used to do a demonstration on the island. Bellevue is
Yes.
in Manchester.
Yes.
Where people used to go for wrestling, also for bike riding.
Yes.
Scrap cars.
Speed car racing. Yes.
Everything. They did everything there.
The dogs?
Dancing, no, dogs were in Old Trafford, in White City.
Right, okay.
Yeah, no, dogs weren't there.
Okay.
So I'd like to talk a little bit about bonfire night when I was a child.
Okay, yes, so that'd be interesting.
Because
okay.
Bradford, Manchester,
yes,
didn't have trees.
Right.
It was just all terraced houses, 2 up and 2 down, toilets outside.
Yes.
So really what they would call these days slums, although I didn't see them as slums.
Right.
So all industry was in that area. So you got Hardwick, Openshaw. So industry was in that area.
Yes.
Now, years ago, all goods would go into, and during the war,
yes,
all goods going to factories would go by rail.
And the canals.
And the canals, yes.
Yes.
But the rails used to go into the actual factories.
Yes, you're
so
right.
they were
yes.
delivered by rail into the factories.
Yes.
So my brother and myself and 4 others
yes.
decided that we would go looking for wood. So you looked anywhere for wood, old bedsteads and things like that, and
right.
carried them back. And the fire was in the middle of the street.
You're talking about a bonfire?
A bonfire, yeah.
Right,
in the middle of the street. And it used to blister the doors, the paintwork on the doors.
Right, okay.
It was so hot.
Yeah.
And everybody used to sit out.
Right.
Everybody came out of the house and we'd bake potatoes on the fire. Remember, food is rationed at this time.
Right.
And somebody would make some parking.
Okay.
It was a big community event in the street.
Right. So bonfire night was a communal holiday,
not like
event,
it is
a festival.
now, yes. Well, it wasn't really a festival. It was everybody just coming together and having a sing-song.
Right.
Yeah, so it was really good.
Okay. So you went looking for wood?
So I'd go looking for wood.
With your brother and 3 other accomplices?
And 4 others.
4 others, sorry.
6
of you, right, okay.
So we went to Clayton Aniline,
right.
which was one of the factories
that
made arms during the war.
Okay.
So we went there and picked up a sleeper.
Right.
A small sleeper, because
sleepers are very heavy.
Yeah, I'm the eldest at 7. Jack's 5. We're all tiny. We're tiny. You couldn't even imagine children doing this in this day and age at the ages.
Well, children of the ages you are saying wouldn't be on their own walking around now.
No, they wouldn't.
No.
So we picked up the sleeper.
Right.
And we've got it in one arm, carrying it, all of us.
I'm quite
going
impressed.
Down the road.
Sleepers are really heavy.
Yeah, but it was
like
small,
a railway sleeper as well.
A railway sleeper. It was a small one.
Yes.
It wasn't a big one.
Right.
So we were going down the road when the local bobby comes along and sees us and starts chasing us.
Right.
And of course, we're all pretty stupid, so we don't put the sleeper down. We run with the sleeper, which was heavy.
Right,
so he caught us. Us. And he said, put it down.
Yes.
What you doing with that? And of course, it's for the bonfire.
Right.
So he said, where have you got it from? So we didn't know Clayton Aniline was Clayton Aniline at that time.
You just said over there.
Over there. So
Right.
he said, right, come on, take me back to where you've got it from. So he made us walk back carrying this sleeper. And when we got back to where we got it from, he said, now put it down.
Right.
Put it down exactly. And exactly, I mean exactly where you found it and how you found it.
Okay.
Which we did. And then he said to us, now stand here. Don't move. We're waiting for the train to come.
Right.
So we stood there and we heard the train coming, delivering all the goods.
Yes.
And he said, I want you to watch the wheel of the train and I want you to watch that sleeper.
Okay.
Which we did do. And then after the train had gone through, he said, what would have happened if that sleeper wasn't there?
Yes.
And I said, the train would have fallen over.
Right.
Because it was one of the small sleepers that kept the balance, that threw the balance back.
Okay.
So I said it would have fallen over. He said, and you would have killed the driver. And this factory would have lost all their goods.
Right.
Thousands of pounds of goods.
Right.
And you six would have done that. So then he looked, he clouted us all across the head.
Right.
And then said, off now, go home and count yourself lucky I'm not going to your parents with you. Because you get another one off them.
Right.
That's the difference between then and now. That's what I'm saying. The Bobby and the Beat
I understand.
explained
Yes.
why. And I've never forgotten his explanation.
It was a teaching moment, a teachable moment,
Yes.
an important life lesson
And that's why we should...
that you can still remember.
I can still remember.
Obviously, you're
Yeah.
telling the wonderful story or the interesting story.
Yes, so from 7, I'm remembering that.
Yes.
Which is pretty good, really, isn't it? And yet we're now becoming...
Well, we wouldn't have, or we don't really have police men and women on the beat anymore, do we?
Well, it wasn't police, was it? It was the Bobby on the beat, and they were all called the Bobby.
The local
Bobby
policeman,
on the beat.
yeah. So it's
Yes.
part of the community.
He was, yes. So
Yes.
he'd come and talk if kids were playing in the street. He'd come and talk to them.
Right, yeah.
So it was a proper community.
Yes.
So he kept you on the straight and narrow.
Yes.
And maybe that's what we need back again.
Bobby's on the
our
beat.
streets, but the way the streets are today,
Yes.
I think the police themselves are very, very scared of being out on the street.
Yes,
And
I would imagine so.
I honestly understand that.
I agree.
Because it is scary because they don't know what the kids have got, do they?
Not just children, adults.
Yes.
It is. It's a very frightening world, and I feel that police men and women are very brave.
Yes.
They are very brave.
And they've all got cameras now, haven't they? They've got cameras on the uniforms. What has the world come to where you can't do your job without having a camera for somebody to check your behaviour or the behaviour of the other person? It used to be word of mouth. We don't seem to have word of mouth anymore.
It's for evidence now.
But word of mouth was evidence at one time. You took somebody's word of mouth.
A witness statement.
Yes.
Yes. I agree. I do agree.
And that's what you...
It's gotten well out of hand, hasn't it?
Yeah. So you should be able to swear. You used to swear on the Bible, didn't you? And if you went to court or anything.
Right.
You know, I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth. Everybody knows
And
it in my
nothing but
generation.
the truth, yes.
So help me God.
Yeah.
And I can remember doing that because I got the licence for a nightclub for my brother. Took over for a year.
And you had to
He
swear
couldn't.
an oth, did you?
And I had
in a
to
court
go
of
to
law.
court. Yes, and I had to swear the oath.
Wow.
And I couldn't speak. I picked the Bible up and I literally could not speak.
Was it that feeling when you're similar to when you're driving down the road and a police car is behind you and you've done absolutely nothing wrong, and all of a sudden you feel guilty?
Yeah.
and you're driving to the speed limit, you're doing nothing wrong at all,
Yeah.
but for some reason you feel like you have, and they're out to pull you over for some
Yes.
reason that you can't imagine as to why.
No.
One of those type feelings.
And in
Yeah.
a way, that used to be the power of the police force, didn't it? You didn't have
Right.
to do anything wrong to feel guilty.
Right.
Whereas now, people don't seem to care if they're pulled over.
I don't know, to be honest with you.
Mm.
I genuinely don't know.
No. So I think the thing is, are changing so fast. It's like you were saying the other day about Amazon.
Right.
Bringing in the robots there.
Amazon have released a statement that they are turning towards AI to implement some of their citizens, implement some of their systems, and they're going to cut back on some jobs, which was inevitable, as many businesses across the world are going to do that, are doing that, based on artificial intelligence being used as part of the workforce because it costs less and the productivity is a lot higher in the short term.
So
I'm not saying I agree with that. I'm just pointing out that based on the way things are, it's inevitable.
So I take it that the AI in that case will be robots that can pack.
Not necessarily.
And put things on shelves.
Probably, yes. In the fulfillment centres, as they call them, with Amazon, it's more to do with systems. So data processing. So they will rather than use humans to deal with customer service or processing of data, they will use AI, computer systems.
Yes, but they've also already got the robots in, aren't they? They're doing the packing on the shelves. They're already
There's
using
forms
those.
of robots, yes. And they're looking at creating, well, they already are creating newer models to be able to work manual labour within warehouses, stacking shelves and such, and lifting heavy goods. Yes.
I wonder if anybody's thought forward enough to realise all those goods that they're actually, trying to save money to send to people. The general public...
What do you mean try to save money to send to people?
Well, they're saving money, aren't they, by having robots? So they're saving money. So somebody orders something.
Right, okay.
And by having a robot, they say they're saving money. They're saving money, which isn't passed on to the consumer.
Right. Yes, the business cost would be less in the short.
Yeah, they would be less,
supposedly.
Which is already happening.
Yes.
So, what are they not forward thinking enough to realise that when they cut the staff to a bare minimum.
Right.
All the people who have lost their jobs, how are they going to be able to even buy goods?
That's a good point.
So, in the long run, surely it must outdo itself.
Potentially, yes. I think the most likely outcome based on the way things are would be, for a period of time, a two-tier humanity. So the wealth would and will grow within a section of humanity, and they will be the people that will be buying the goods and services and having the experience, and everybody else will not be part of that to a great extent. That's what's happening as things currently stand. So humanity's been separated into the haves and the have-nots economically, and those that have are going to have astronomical wealth, and while capital gains are still able to be utilised, people with money are going to make more and more money on their money, and it's just going to grow and grow and grow and grow and grow, and they are the people that are going to be buying lots of goods. And there are lots of people, although they are the minority, that there are a lot of wealthy people in the world who buy a lot of goods.
But what is the point in them buying goods if the general public are not in work?
Well, that's
because the general public, I mean, now, who do the jobs of the packing and the delivering.
Right.
If all their jobs are taken away,
yes,
there's nowhere to sell the goods to, because it would only be a minority of people.
Oh, still millions and millions globally who are going to spend billions. So there's an enormous amount of money in it. To be honest, it is that way now across the world. The vast majority of goods are bought by a tiny percentage of humanity. Most of humanity don't have very much money at all spare to buy anything on planet Earth. I'm not talking about in the United Kingdom. On planet Earth, billions of people live in poverty.
Yes, they do, I agree.
So we are already part of an elite, in a sense, you and I and everybody listening. It's one of those famous statistics or facts, and I may not get it exactly right because it shifts, but if you have £10 at your disposal at any given time, you are in the top 1% or 5% or 10%, I can't remember off the top of my head which it is, of the wealthiest humans on planet Earth.
That low?
Yes.
£10?
£10, yes. The situation across Earth as a whole is not what people think it is. So the idea that there are people out there who have, and there are those that have not, is absolutely true. But to be honest, we are part of the haves. And I hope all of you listening are part of the haves as well. And I hope one day everybody on planet Earth soon is part of the haves as well, has access to clean running water, medicine, education, shelter. All of the basic dignities of life, I hope, I trust, and I will give everything I possibly can to bring to every human on this earth forever, because that isn't the case. That really isn't the case. And that should be our priority. That should be our priority. And there are those that are pushing that AI, artificial intelligence, is going to bring that to humanity, that it's going to unlock an enormous amount of wealth that then will be able to share a greater abundance across humanity. Now, it's a compelling argument and it's possible. However, I do not see this transpiring because of the consciousness of humanity and because of the way things are set up and because of the greed that is leading the capitalistic mindset across the world. So I do not see that happening. So we will need to forge a different path that can still include money and jobs and production and life.
Clean water would be a start, wouldn't
Absolutely.
it?
In the United Kingdom.
Worldwide, I'm talking about.
Absolutely. Well, let's look at home first. The United
Right.
Kingdom does not have clean water.
No, we don't.
And the water companies have been fined again, yet again, for delivering substandard water to the residents of this country, to us, the United Kingdom. We do not have the quality of water that we ought to have, given the opportunities that are available and the money that's involved. We are poisoning ourselves. And around the world, access to clean drinking water is not a given. It is a given by nature, but it isn't a given by human systems.
I found what was interesting when we had Henry, our dog Henry.
Yes, Henry
is
the dog.
That taking Henry out for a walk, he preferred the water, which looked filthy to be honest, on the floor.
Right.
He preferred to drink that than water out of his bowl. And I used to think then, I wonder why. Because the water on the ground is just the rain.
Fresh water.
Fresh water,
Yeah.
even though it looks contaminated.
Yes.
Maybe that's less contaminated than what's being put in through the process of filtering it.
Yes.
So just collecting it in a water butt, which I wouldn't do because it would bother me, but collecting it in a water butt and then boiling it for your teas and your coffees may be no different
Maybe.
than what we're actually drinking from the tap, costing a fortune at this time.
Yes. Yes.
So when I look at the way the world is, we're paying for resources that are given by nature itself.
Yes.
That we pay for water, we pay for coal, if we use coal.
Right.
We pay for oil.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand paying for getting it out of the ground. I do understand that we know there is a process
Right.
that we have to pay for. But when I look at my water bill and I'm paying for water coming from the gutter.
Yes. Rainwater.
Rainwater into the drains.
Yeah.
I can't get my head around that.
Yeah. It's a swizz. It is a swizz. And the water companies are in, no pun intended, hot water. They really are. It's been terribly run. Really, really bad. Really bad across the United Kingdom.
That goes to the rail and everything, though, doesn't it? All the companies, all the resources that used to be nationalised,
Right.
are running at a loss now.
I don't know.
No, to mean a loss to us. I don't mean to the companies.
Oh,
Companies
right.
are making lots of money.
Right.
It's costing us a fortune for those resources, which it shouldn't do.
I would imagine everybody listening, and most people, pretty much everybody, will be in agreement, in consensus, that the services that are being provided generally across the United Kingdom are subpar. They really are. And you could take health, education, transportation, public spaces of all kinds, from leisure centres to libraries. The vast majority...
Parks.
Absolutely. The vast majority of services and utilities, private and national, are below what they could be, and potentially what they should be, based on promises made and money given. Yes. And where they were and the opportunity that was available. This again, we're getting back to politics really, aren't we, again? Yes. Politics and economics. But I do feel where we started the conversation about opening up a recognition of what's going on globally,
yes,
or at least being open to think about it, and we can do that this morning, brings us back down to earth, and the standards of living that we all have, people would have dreamt of, and people do dream of. If you think about your parents and your great-grandparents, I'm not talking about the moral compass of people, which is a question, a topic, a truth really that we've spoken about being remiss, but the actual standards of living: running hot water, indoor plumbing, hot showers, refrigerators, freezers, air fryers, washing machines, yes, toothpaste, toothbrushes, a bar of soap, shampoo. That's heaven to millions of people not that long ago. And I'm not saying that in any way, in any kind of disrespect to my grandparents, great-grandparents, great-great-great-grandparents, or anybody else's ancestors not that long ago. I mean it with the highest of respect. A bar of chocolate. To be able to walk to a shop and see not just one bar of chocolate, but the potential to buy 30 different varieties of bars of chocolate. I'm not talking about the price or the quality of the chocolate, but just that's heaven.
Is it though? Is it heaven?
It is in their minds for what they could conceive of. In a time of scarcity in those areas, they were working hard for that. I'm speaking from the conversations when I was very young, had with my grandparents.
Yes.
It certainly wasn't just for that. But yes, they dreamt of a future where access to services and experiences and the pleasures of life was as open and as equal in opportunity to everybody. I'm talking about from the conversations I've had. And that's what we've got. And we don't realise what we've got. In a sense, we've got heaven and hell all wrapped up in the same moment. We have access now, most people, via a handheld device, to music, from Mozart to Beethoven to the Rolling Stones to the Beatles to Ed Sheeran, all at the click of a button. Now, I'm not saying that is better or worse than anything else. We can read Socrates, Plato, Shakespeare, J.K. Rowling, all at the click of a button. We have access to learn anything if we choose to. We can use the information available to educate ourselves, to inform ourselves, to enlighten ourselves, to heal ourselves. Now, is that happening? No. So, generally not necessarily complete flat no.
We're abusing it really, aren't we?
Yes.
Because if I go to a shop to buy a shampoo,
yes,
I want a shampoo for my hair.
Yes.
Why hasn't that shop just got one shampoo that they know is really, really good for everybody's hair and sell that one?
Well, that's not how the economy works.
No, I know it doesn't work like
I
that.
know,
but we don't. But what happens is that wonderful, wonderful shampoo that was somebody put together for somebody's hair, which is brilliant.
Yes.
Then once the patent goes on that, somebody adds something else to it.
Yes.
And when that patent goes, somebody else adds something to it.
That's how...
So in the end, we're damaging ourselves because of greed.
Yes, because of added ingredients and chemicals and then advertisement and marketing comes in terms of the psychological factors. Yes, that's the world that we live in. I think
that's what needs to stop.
Yes.
Plus, if I buy a bar of chocolate now, it's a third of the size of the bar of chocolates I used to get.
Yeah.
And yet it's 3 times more in price.
True, and people are 3 times bigger in their waistlines.
So
what's going on?
It's greed, isn't it? Most things with people are, I think it's greed, because we've known times, even in this land, times of having nothing.
Right.
I think the psyche of people is that they're scared of going back to that again. So somewhere in the psyche they store up food.
Yes, maybe. Well, although most generations now, including myself, haven't experienced it in the way that you're meaning it. Although lots of people do experience hardships, but not as a nation in the way that you're talking about it. But maybe it's a collective memory that's passed down. It needs to change. It's a repeated message, and it's one that's said everywhere, I think.
Yes.
But we can get back to appreciating what we have in the here and now. And that can bring a sense of gratitude and a sense of optimism and a calmness to be able to face the day and face life. If you are now enjoying a hot cup of coffee or a delicious hot cup of tea, maybe a slice of buttered toast with your cup of tea, there's a lot to appreciate. There is a lot to appreciate. If you can look out of the window and see some nature, you can see a tree or a bird, maybe you will go out for a walk. Maybe you can make a telephone call to a friend. I do feel getting back initially to appreciating life is not going to solve the problems of the world. In fact, the problems of the world are never going to be solved, because there will always be more problems. That's life. But it puts us in a better state of mind to be able to not abuse the opportunities that come along and calm ourselves down. And the simple truth that I know to be true, and I hope you can all, upon hearing it, recognise it, there is enough for everybody. There is enough water on earth for everybody. There is enough oxygen for everybody. There is enough food for everybody. There is enough space for everybody. There is enough. There's more than enough, in fact. The only premise is not to abuse it, to use what is necessary and maybe even enjoy a little bit more. But don't take beyond what is right, fair and true by any one conscience. Do not abuse, because the moment abuse comes into anything, somewhere else, someone else has to miss out to counterbalance that. And that's where things have gotten out of kilter. But a lot of the time, people are talking like there's a scarcity. There is not a scarcity. What there are scarcities on the earth. There are famines and there are droughts. But that's not because the earth couldn't feed them. It's not that their thirst could not be quenched. It's just we're not working together.
No.
And the systems and the apparatus and the technologies are not in place for everybody to be able to access what's necessary. And that's a truth. It just is. And we're also, not just in terms of the modern world, we're also losing our connection to the knowledge and the wisdom. We have been, as a species, the human race, been living on Earth for such a long time, and yet most people only think in terms of the last 100 years.
Yes. Greed, isn't it? Greed. They think it's excitement. Can we get excited again about nature itself? You know, we used to take a group of children, our daughters and their friends, and we used to walk around the reservoirs.
Right.
And talk about the reservoir, what it was, and it used to be lovely all around there. They used to keep the surrounding places really nice for walking.
Yes. So getting back to nature.
To nature itself, and we can learn a lot from it.
Absolutely. I feel that getting back to nature is a huge step in humanity getting back to ourselves.
Yes.
It's not going to solve problems in and of itself, but it is going to create a much more conducive mindset, attitude, and general health, physical, mental, emotional, total holistic health, the whole package. not from one walk, but it can start with one walk. Open the window. If you want to start somewhere, open the window, get some fresh air. Open your curtains, get some sunlight into your space, onto your face. Just simple steps. And sometimes it's just simple steps that are needed to start the process. There is enough for everybody. There's enough for everybody's need, but not everybody's greed. So let's live wisely, and let's look after each other in the sense of really wanting the genuine best for each other. And I genuinely, and I hope that comes across, I genuinely care, and I genuinely care about all humanity, all of humanity, and I know that things can be better. They're never going to be perfect, and life will never be problem-free, because it would be boring if it was. The problems of tomorrow are coming.
Yes.
But we don't want to add them to the problems of today and the problems of yesterday, so they keep stacking up. And we are tripping over our own feet here. So let's get back to basics and be grateful and be open to thinking and feeling as a collective, as one humanity upon one earth, where we can care for and inspire and live together in a much, much more cohesive, cooperative, harmonious way. And that is absolutely possible. It is possible. And I know you all feel it. I know that you do.
So if every single being, and I mean being on this earth,
Yes.
has food, water and shelter, every single human and animal, it's a start, isn't it? And I mean the basics of that.
Yes, it's a start, yes.
It's a start.
And we have everything in our means to bring that about.
Absolutely.
It's all there. So it's possible. It's more than possible. It's inevitable if we, the human race, if we come together and unite.
Yes.
So let's do that. So in a thought, we can think that this morning. And if you'd like to talk about it, you can talk about it. If you want to think on it, think on it. Or if you have different ideas in a different direction, well, so be it. And maybe you're right too, because if it stimulated a conversation, provoked an idea, challenged a belief, that's wonderful too.
Yes.
It's just a discussion, and hopefully one you've all enjoyed, as always. We enjoy talking, and we're so grateful for you all listening. I think we will have to wrap it up, Anne. We're going.
Time again.
Time is rolling on and rolling on.
Okay.
Well, another passionate end to our
Yes.
podcast, which seems to be a theme, and another wonderful, interesting Anne story about your bonfires when you were younger and you stealing a sleeper and leading your brother and the others astray, although I've added that bit in.
Absolutely.
And the wisdom of the local Bobby. Yes, let's get back to community and looking out for each other. An important message.
Yeah.
Okay? Brilliant. Well, thank you, Anne, as always. I have
you.
said it before, and do you know what? I will say it again. Your wisdom, your guidance, your insight, your stories are so vital. I gain so much from them, and I hope you all listening gain from them too. And I will do everything I possibly can to give you a platform for you to share your wisdom and stories with the world, because I know the world will benefit from it.
Thank you.
So thank you for being you.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful Sunday, everybody, a wonderful week whenever it is that you are listening. And as always, we look forward to being with you and speaking with you again next Sunday morning.
Bye.
Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.